Okay, so again, just a reminder, get on the website, get committed, so you can access that YouTube channel, all the recordings for the Zoom. These Zoom meetings will be up there so you can review it, or if you happen to miss it, you will be able to catch it later. And we also have the workout of the day we'll post there as well. That will incorporate these three movements, past movements we've covered, to start building those basic movements here. So getting into it, hopefully you've all done your dynamic warm-up. Remember, before jumping on these Tuesday, Thursday calls, make sure you go through the dynamic warm-up real quick, just to get loosened up, get moving, get going, because you are going to be moving with us. Make sure your camera's on, we can see you, give you any feedback needed. Okay, so just like we went through the dynamic warm-up last time, we'll be covering the series of movements at the beginning of each call here. Today we'll be going through one of 3 shoulder strengthening series. This first one is one that you can do if you have some kind of weight, so either a hand weight, or you can do it with a 2.5 pound plate, something you don't want anything more than 3 pounds, or if you have, if all you've got is a can of food, that's great too. Something you can do to add a little extra weight to this movement. Again, when we're working the shoulder girdle, this rotator cuff muscles here, we don't need a lot of weight. We'll kind of start increasing the reps, okay? But the more weight we add, the more these larger muscle groups are going to take over, and then we're not working the little rotator cuff muscles anymore. So getting into it, you won't need any weight today. Again, we're just going through the motions, reviewing the movements. So you're going to start on the ground on your back. For our first one, the windshield wipers, you're going to start with your elbows tucked into your side at a 90-degree angle, and then you're just going to go back and forth. Okay, taking both hands over to the right side, and then both hands over to the left side. Again, you're going to try and get we want to make sure we can give you any feedback. Okay. Okay, these movements here, really important you to do correctly. Okay, if we start to, extend that arm, okay, we start to engage the tricep muscle, we bring that arm in, we're engaging the bicep muscle. Okay, we really want to focus on isolating that rotator cuff and strengthen that, because that'll help you really keep your shoulder healthy. That'll help you keep from getting any shoulder injuries. Or if you already have, tight, short shoulders that you're, possible on the edge of an injury, these will help keep those shoulders nice, strong, and healthy. Okay, next one you'll do is goal post. So keep that arm at a 90 degree. You'll just take it out to the side of your body here. And we'll take both arms down, and we'll come up, keep them on 90 degree that whole time, just focusing on rotating through that shoulder joint. Okay, if you can get all the way down to the ground, great. If you feel as you start to go down, the shoulder start to come off the ground, okay, we're going a little too far, back it off. Make sure you can keep the shoulder flat in the ground as you go down, okay, and back up. So if all you can do is get to here, okay, that's perfectly fine. Over time, as we work these, work that range of motion and keep increasing it. Okay. Next one you'll do on your back, you'll have your arms straight up in the air. So you'd be holding your weight above your head, keeping shoulder width. And then all you're going to do is kind of punch up towards the sky, getting these shoulders off the ground now. and then sink them back into the ground without bending the arms here. So these elbows will stay locked out. Okay, we'll press up and down. So we're kind of pushing through the shoulder instead of pressing at the elbow joint here. So keep the arms locked out, press, and then sink those shoulders back to the ground. Okay, so we'll go from here, here. So small movement. Again, we're working small muscles. We're working that scapular muscle there. Okay. Next one we'll be on our side for that external rotation. Okay, we've got your hand weight here. Gonna keep that arm at 90 degrees as you go up and back down, kind of towards your belly button, back to the ground. Okay, so again, make sure as you're coming up, you're not extending that arm out. Okay, we start using the other muscles here. Okay, we just want to isolate that shoulder. Work those tiny muscle groups. Okay, you do those on both sides. And then the last one we have here in this series is empty the can. You'll be standing up with your weight in your hands. Okay, imagine like you're holding a soda can, some kind of can, and you're pouring that can out. So you'd come up and over, thumb would be down, palm would be facing out. Okay, we got thumb up, taking those thumbs down, palms out. Okay, starting with those hands at our side, we're going to keep the shoulders down, back and down, relax. Okay, we're going to take those hands up, out at a 45-degree angle. So again, we're not taking them out to the side here. Okay, we're not here, we're not out in front, just a nice 45-degree angle here. And again, we're only going up as high. We don't want to go any higher than shoulder height here, so we'd only go about to here. Okay, if you can get there, great. If not, so if you start to raise those arms and you feel your shoulders start to shrug, okay, that trap's starting to get tighter. Okay, that trap is starting to take over. Okay, we're not working the shoulder anymore. Okay, so only go as high as you can until your shoulder starts getting engaged, and then back off a little bit. Okay, if you're only getting to about here, okay, you probably have a little too much weight. Back off a little bit. Okay, and we'll just kind of progress up. All right, any questions on any of those 5 movements? Doing pretty good. All right, if not, we're going to get into our 3 main movements for today. Again, each call will cover 1 upper body, 1 lower body, 1 core movement. So starting with the upper body, we're going to get with the row. So hopefully you all read the email. Come prepared with a towel. You're going to roll up your towel, roll it up nice and tight so you have something to hold here. Towel's going to do a couple different things here. Is keep our arms here, shoulder width, hands shoulder width, and give us something to hold as we come up. So all we're going to do here, we're going to hinge at the hips. So all that means is you're going to have a slight bend in the knee. Okay, we're not squatting. Okay, slight bend in the knee, hinge at the hips. Okay, so those hips will come back a little bit, and then your back will stay nice and straight. So I don't want a rounded back. Okay, I don't want an overarched back where I'm here. Okay, keeping that back nice and straight. And then with my towel, all I'm going to do is pull up into my chest and down. Okay, so a couple things you want to think about while you're in this position here are these elbows staying in towards your side, so I'm not having these arms come out here. Okay, elbows in. Okay, and as I do these, as I pull up, slow and controlled, okay, I'm going to tighten my back muscles. I'm going to try and pull this towel apart, try to tear it in half, okay, while keeping these elbows in. Okay, so I can pull out here, keep these elbows in here, pull up, try to pull that towel apart, and then down. Okay, up. As you get to the top, you're going to pause for about 2 seconds, really focus on tightening those back muscles, pinching those shoulder blades together, and then come down and relax. Okay, up and down. Again, keeping that back nice and flat, keeping the elbows in, tightening the back. Okay, any question on the row? That is our bent over row. Alrighty, second movement for lower back or lower body. We're gonna go the roll up. Okay, one of my favorite movements here. Rolling up into that deep squat. So we covered the squat last time. How to get into that deep squat. So again, if you're limited by mobility here, okay, focus on getting a nice straight back. Weight into the heels. Again, if you have trouble getting into that position, find something to hold on to, a pole or something you can hold on to and lean back. Okay, really focusing on getting that weight through the heels. Because what we'll do is when we're rolling up, okay, we're going to roll back, get onto our feet, and then stand up. Okay, so this should look familiar. Okay, where we're here and stand it up. So just like we would in the water where we're swimming into the wall, okay, we're coming over, throwing our feet over for that flip turn, planting our feet on the wall, in this case the ground, and then we're pushing off that wall. So as we progress through this, we can do some pretty cool things where we're rolling up into a jump or to a tuck jump, something explosive, just like we would swimming into that wall and exploding out of the wall. Okay, so try it here. If you can't quite get onto your feet, if you're getting stuck here, can't quite get over those feet, just practice going back and forth, trying to get a little bit of momentum, swing those feet a little bit harder. Okay, throw your hands out in front of you. Okay, like you're trying to reach for something out there. What you want to focus on here is that feet placement when they come down. Okay, I want to plant them, okay, in that power stance. Okay, when we come into the wall, we're not going to be pushing off the wall. Feet together, we're not going to be pushing out with our feet apart and knees in. We want a good power stance. We can get as much power off that wall as we can. So as we roll back and up, we want to avoid here, this position, and getting up from there. One, that's going to create some knee issues, and that's not going to give us the proper strength through the legs. So, and then you don't want to, cross the knees, come here, cross the knees to get up. Okay, you really want to focus on that feet position, getting back, planting those feet down, get to this position comfortably. So again, if you just got to practice rolling back and forth, trying to get onto those feet. Okay. The other way you can modify these is, so if you have a hard time, getting onto those feet still, is just elevating off the ground a little bit. So if you have a mat or something that you're, 2 to 4 inches off the ground, you'd be sitting on the edge of that mat or whatever. You would roll back, get the feet on the ground, off the mat, so that they're a little lower than your body, and you'll be able to stand up a little bit easier. Okay, any questions on the roll up? Okay, last movement of the evening. We've got our core, so we're going to go through the hollow body hold. Okay, we'll kind of start at the easiest progression and work up, kind of see where you're at, what you can hold. So the idea here is to work up to starting with 3 sets of 10 seconds, holding it for 10 seconds, resting for 15 to 20 seconds. Once that gets too easy, we'll bump up the seconds once we're at 20 to 30 seconds. Okay, then we're gonna start moving the feet out a little bit. So the first position we're gonna be in, you'll be on your back, focusing on that lower back, okay, pressing the core, belly button into the ground, nice flat back. You're gonna have your hands reached out to your heels, and then we'll lift the heels off the ground. So the more we bring our knees and heels in, the easier it's gonna be. Okay, so if we're here, and that's hard, okay, we can hold it for 10, okay, but we're kind of struggling to get 3 sets. We'll work on this position here. Once that starts to get easy, again, bump it up 15, 20, 30 seconds. Then we'll move it out till we can challenge ourselves, and it's a little bit harder again, okay, and then we'll be progressing until we're having our arms out straight, and then our feet out straight here. Again, keeping these shoulders off the ground, okay. And again, you should be able to hold these about 3 to 5 sets, 20 to 30 seconds at a time, taking about 20 to 30 seconds rest in between as we get up higher, as we increase the hold, make sure we increase the rest as well. Okay, once we get to that position there, and then the final one, say we're holding this for 5 sets of 30 seconds, and that starts to get easy. So what you do is, start with 3 sets of 10 seconds again, with your arms out, okay, feet up, about 6 to 12 inches off the ground. Same with my arms, my head, my shoulders are off the ground here. Holding that nice and tight. Okay, once you got that position there, again, you'd progress that up from 10 seconds on, 15 off, 15, 20 off, and then up to 15 on, and then 20, etc. So keep pushing yourself, keep challenging yourself, and then everyone starts somewhere, okay? We're all trying to progress and get a little bit better. So any questions on any of those 3 movements here?